is up, everybody? Krista here, Small Yard Big Plants. Welcome to my backyard again. Second weekend in a row, hitting my stride here with the spring. It's a little bit breezy, but the sun is out. It feels glorious. So we are going to plant some strawberry starts, maybe sow some seeds, maybe scatter some more mulch around, see what's going on, puttering around in the garden. It's my favorite. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe. And yeah, let's hang out in the garden together today, guys. I was looking around. I don't see any carrots or, Swiss chard or beets or anything that we sowed last week, but I do see some little baby sugar snap peas. Happy birthday, little guys. They're popping up. You see them. They're tiny, but they are there. See right there, there's a couple, and I'm psyched. Sugar snap peas are one of our very favorite garden snacks. And just when you think like, ooh, did I plant them too deep? Like, what's going on? They're there. They're growing. They're doing what they need to do. Sugar snap peas are in our future. Here is the asparagus bed. Things are growing. Look at them. Like, we could actually eat asparagus this year, guys. It's the long game here. And I think this year we're actually going to enjoy it. So excited. I can't wait. Here's the first blossom of the season. This is calendula of some kind that I had moved around in the garden bed last weekend, overwintered from last season. And look at it. It's just the best. Favorite color. It's so happy. It's beautiful. Spring is here. So this green stalk right here is where I typically plant my strawberries. I did not give them enough love and attention last season. They did not survive the winter. Gonna dismantle, top them up with compost, and replant those new strawberries I showed you for the season. And hopefully, future me will take better care of them so that we can enjoy them for the next few years. bring you on a little bit closer so you can see. So I'm pushing down out toward the edges of the pockets. Then I'm going to add in more. Supposed to fill each pocket up to the edge here. And it'll settle, of course, with rain and all that. Can you see me? I'm going to start planting in. I'm going to bring in really close so you can just see what I'm doing. Yep. Okay, cool. Let's get the plants. That's going to be the first tier, I think. Okay. Biotone. This is my favorite fertilizer. It's slow release. It's organic. I like to put it in anytime I'm transplanting things to give them a good boost. Doesn't hurt the plants. Like it's sensitive enough for transplants and little babies that baby plants, not your human babies, plant babies that, you know, I've never had it like burn the roots or anything like that. This is the good stuff, guys. And here are some lawn strawberries. I haven't grown this before. It says everbearing, vigorous plants, easy to grow, bright red, beautiful fruit, high sugar content, more vitamin C than other everbearing varieties. I'm all for it. My immune system needs that vitamin C. So I'm going to just set these down. Push this down so I have like a guide. So I have a circle of like where this sits, and I'm going to be putting it in each pocket. I'm not going to wear gloves for this. This is the good part. It's where you get to touch the soil. That's what I like. Get your hands dirty, guys. It's good for you. So I'm just going to do like a little scoop, I think. Again, you don't want to bury the crowns of the strawberries. I'll show you that in a minute. But I am going to like scoop a little spot for each thing to go in. Handy dandy rotator base. Love it. If you get yourself a green stock, do the rotating base. Helps you to be able to see, point things to the sun, moisture, all that stuff. And it makes it really easy for you to reach stuff. Access and harvest. That's when it's the good part, right? All right. So now I've got kind of a guide hole for each spot. And there's 6 pockets. I think I have a 5 tier, so it's 30, right? 30 strawberry plants. Psyched. So I'm going to take my Biotone. Probably should use gloves for this, but whatever. Do what you're going to do. Put a good little handful in each one. And I'll do that every tier as I go. Just going to rough it in a little bit. There. Now, we get to have our berries. I'm going to keep at least one of the tags so I remember. Let's give it a good little squish. Keep them if they're in good shape. Reuse them later. Look at those roots. Those are some good looking roots. I might have needed to make some bigger pockets here. I'm just going to squish it down. Oh, right. Let me show you. So this right here this like base crown, you do not want to cover it with soil. Okay, so I need to make sure that this part is above the soil. Push it in. Maybe dig a little bit more. Squish it down in there. And then I'm going to bring my compost up around it without, come on, Krista, focus in here, without covering the crown. You got to be able to see that. Okay. On to the next. Don't cover the crown here. It's a reminder to myself because I think that's what I did last year. Well, I didn't come back. Part of the reason. I also didn't water them in August. That's a pretty big problem, right? So, yeah. And then rotate again. I'm just going to stack the pots as I go and the labels. Maybe I'll just tuck this in there. We'll see. I'll tuck them in after. See if I can. I might just do one per tier, but we'll see. Gosh, these are looking so good. Oops, see, this crown is already buried. So I'm going to take off a little bit of it here. Actually, put that in the middle. This one's buried a bit too deep, I think, for my liking. This guy shouldn't be buried. Squish it down. Don't cover in the water hole there. But clear the crown. Then I can put it in there. All right. That looks better. Stick it right over the nozzle here. And that really helps. It has emitters all around the bottom. So I guess I should be looking. So there's an emitter, a little hole in each spot. You want that to face into each pocket. So I do have to kind of pay attention to where I'm putting them. So that helps fill up with water and then emits to the roots. And these strawberry roots will, they'll go to the water. So it's pretty cool. It's a really cool system. And I think that fits really snug. Make sure soil's touching it so it can work through there. I think that looks pretty darn good. I'm going to add the next row. Let's bring in close. See? Ta-da! Let's get another row going. All right. So here's the next one. Just like last time, I'm going to go through. I already started this process last week, but I'm going to do it one more time to catch any other rocks or things I might have missed. Big bark chips and whatever. things I don't need in there, taking up space. Gonna get all of that out, fill it with some fresh compost, add some biotone in the pockets, and then plant. I might alternate. I've got 4 more of these Elan strawberries. So I might do like every other with something else with another variety. I've got 3 varieties: Tillamook, Elan, and a pink one, like a summer breeze something. I'll show you when I get there. Tillamook strawberries. These are June bearing. Just got to my local Fred Meyer yesterday. They look gorgeous. June bearing produces big crops of a very large, high quality, juicy, sweet, ruby red fruit. Harvest in June. I love these, but I also really enjoy having berries like all season. So even though these are probably going to be your bigger, like more classic, robust strawberries, I love having options throughout the season. So I'm going to put these tags in another spot so I don't lose them. There's only 1 per 6-pack here. And I'm going to probably, I did do 1 full round of the Elan Everbearing, so I might do 1 full round of the June bearings. Actually, I'm gonna alternate. So I'm gonna go like every other, I think. Do 3 and 3. And then the next tiers, that's where I'm really gonna put in some of those. I'll have 3 more tiers of the pink pink strawberries. So yeah, so I'm gonna just kind of, these are smaller ones, obviously gonna have smaller root balls to work with. Just gonna take a couple, it's one per pack, do 3 and 3. Because I am mixing, I am gonna put one of these in each spot. Okay, kind of angle it out so it's easier. I didn't really think about this first time. Easier to angle the foliage out toward me so that we can put on the next tier without hurting the berries, the plants. Careful not to cover the crown here. I'm going to stick one of these here, and I might do another tag in this next one so I remember that I alternated them, because I'm not going to remember that next season, you know. Probably just do one down here to signal that I've done the whole. If there's only like one tag, then that the whole thing, that kind. We'll see, something like that. All right, so I'm going to plant these guys first. Our pink strawberry plants. Look at these, you guys. Look at it. Look at it. Look at how beautiful that is. Gorgeous. Strawberry summer breeze rose. Deep pink flowers. Plants produce beautiful rose-shaped double flowers and delicious juicy bright red berries. Unique semi-double flowers hold onto their petals and lots of color on the plant. So it's kind of like an edible ornamental. It's awesome. Pretty sure. Well, I guess it doesn't say if it's an everbearing or a June bearing. I guess we'll see. I have 9 of them, so I'll have to space them out over the next 3 tiers. Let's rough up the bottom a little bit. Ah! It's so pretty! Okay, I'm going to edge it out. Push it down, just like the others. Don't bury the crown. Push it in. Yes! These ones I'm definitely going to label because I'm planting them, so I'm just going to shove it down. I'll probably just cut the top so we can just see the bottom. We'll see. Let's see. Like I said, I only have 9 of them, so I'm going to do these where I can. Do some. Definitely want to keep the runners because I want more. If you want more production, trim them, but I want to have more plants for next year. So I'm going to let it live. Let's stick around. Rough up the roots just a little bit. Make that crown nice and clear. Available. We'll go like that. Taking out any other sticks and rocks as I find them. You know, if it breaks apart, not a rock. I'm not that strong. Push them in nice and snug. Bring the soil up around. Just careful not to cover the crown, especially on the pinks. Get a good shot of that. Strawberry summer breeze rose. It's a double, semi-double blossom. So cute. Let's do one more in here. And then I'll put in maybe some of the everbearings. Or maybe a couple everbearing, couple June bearing. See what we got. Teasing the roots just a little bit. Not much. Need a bigger pocket here. All right. So, let's see. I only have one more of the Elan. So I'll put that on a different tier. Let's do some Tillamook's. Teasing these roots a little bit. Angling them out. Keeping that crown above the soil line so I don't bury it. just like the others. I do have plant tags. Maybe I should just do the smart thing and label them all, huh? So far, if there's no label, it's a Tillamook, or it's a whole thing of elans. All right, let's see if that one, how that looks. Got my watering thing, stick it on there, push it down, make sure my emitters are facing each of the pockets. Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, 2 more to go. All right, last one. Honey strawberry breeze without a tag. I bet this one. Yep. Okay. Oh, short people problems. All right. Thankfully, I can just see over the top here. Okay. All right. So this one's going to be a little slightly different because we need to have the water tray. Is there a water tray? I think this one is just the bigger one that sits on the top. Make my pockets for the biotone. Scratch it in. All right. Okay, so this is the last Elan berry. Might as well put that in there. Definitely will put a tag. Be smarter than me. Do the last one on the ground. And don't forget your tags. Okay. So I think the only ones I have left are all Tillamook's, which I need to make some more tags for. There's the crown. Roughen up the roots just a little bit, angling them out, pulling in the soil. Okay. going in, and then we are done almost with strawberries. Just gotta water them in. That looks great. Okay. All right. Let's see. So now, just looking, make sure everything is nice and snug. Because now we put the big watering thing on the top. Okay. All right. So this sits right on top. You line them up just like the other ones. Okay. Okay, so I've got my hose hooked up. You'll see it. I'm going to let it rinse down and kind of put some water in each pocket of the green stock, and then I'm going to fill in here, and those emitters are going to bring water all throughout to the root systems. Okay, now here's what we do for the typical watering with these. Okay, you want to grab your thing, you just want to put it on stream or whatever lets the most water out, shower, rain, whatever you like. Stick it in the top part, and we're just going to fill it up. And it will fill, and then it'll drop through the emitters all the way down through, and you will see it start running out at the bottom. That's when you know you've done a good job watering with the green stock. It's awesome, guys, I'm telling you. It's also pretty handy, honestly, because when you're watering, you can also put like liquid fertilizer in the top, and it will help water it in. It's pretty great. So then once I give this a good rinse, probably put some straw mulch in the pockets because I have it on hand, and then I'll give it a good kind of power wash around the base on the outside, clean it up a little bit, get some of those plum seeds out of there. We'll be good to go. On to the next project. Filling it up. It's about like this full right now. I also have a top that I got. You don't have to use these, but I like it just to keep stuff from getting in the very top of it, of the debris. So I'm going to put that on the top. I'll show you that in a second. Especially helpful when the plums are actually like fruiting and dropping from the tree, because then they won't fall in and clog up the water emitters here. So let's see. What else do I have over here? Water break. Very important. So I brought out a basket. I have some twine and I want to wrap around some of the U-posts over there in the asparagus bed. Hopefully help keep them growing upright instead of flipping over like the big giant asparagus wave of 2025 summer. So that's one thing. I got some seeds. Always fun. Let's see. I brought out some daikon radish, some burgundy broccoli. This, I'm not sure. This might, I feel like brassicas take a long time, so this might be a pretty big gamble, but I'm going to try it in the corner. We'll see. Brought out a couple cabbages, Hilton Chinese cabbage, and 1 kilo slow bolt cabbages. Might put one of those in the bed. They get pretty big. I've never grown cabbage before. But I think I could try to sneak one in, see how it goes. And if it doesn't go well, I'll pull it and plant something else. Have some lettuces, some butter crunch, Marvel of 4 Seasons that I'm going to put maybe in some corners so I can get some greens going. Some dill to plant over in the herb bed because I love dill. And some chamomile because it's one of my favorite scents ever. So I'm going to put that around. So yeah, maybe I'll make some labels, start planting some seeds today. I think that feels like a good plan to do. I did bring out labels and a marker. Let me think about where I want to put some stuff. Let's see. I'm trying not to plant things in the asparagus bed with the asparagus. I feel like we want to maximize that, and it does take forever to grow, so I'm gonna just leave that as it is. But I do have lots of little pockets of room in other places, so yeah, just watch along. I'll try to call out what I'm planting when I do it. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Let's check those cabbages. Those feel like they need a specific place to live, right? Because they do get pretty big. So in early spring to mid-late summer. The 1 kilo slow bolt says quick and easy to grow. Yeah, we'll see. Give it a try. Recommended 2 to 4 weeks before your average last frost date. I'm in zone 8B up here in St. Helens. I think it's 8B. And our average last frost date, it always fluctuates a little bit, but average is April 30th. It's around the end of March now, so it's about a month away. I think I could probably do this. How big do they get? Maturity for this one's 50 to 55 days. The Chinese Hilton cabbage maturity doesn't say, 70 days. So this one's longer. Let's go with the 1 kilo slow bolt because I'm getting it in a little bit. Feels late to me, but I don't know. Like I said, I haven't grown cabbage before, so this one's a new one for me. Really like botanical interest. I like that they put all the information on the back, so it tells you what to do. Shows you when to start outside, which is what we're doing today. Start inside if you were like ahead of the game or you have a ton of space. I usually just try to save the inside for tomatoes and peppers and eggplant, things that need a really early start. But I don't have a ton of space inside my house. I think my family likes to live there too, so we're going to leave them some space, and I will just start a lot of things outside. Let's see. I think I'm gonna plant these next to the sugar snap pea TP because there's just like one big open spot. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so you can probably see my hand. Hopefully, just gonna like smooth out some spot here. Let's see. I guess I'll just do like right in the middle. And just a couple of seeds. Okay. I'm going to make a very clear circle so I can try to remind myself. Oh, I got to go make a plant tag, don't I? Of like, okay, there's a thing here. Right here. All right, here's my plant tag. I don't know what date it is, so I put late March, 1 kilo slow bolt cabbage right there. And I will water it in. Here's my seeds, rocks. I do have more mulch. I'll come back through and redo that. Cover it up some more. It's okay if it gets buried in here a little bit. I just don't want to bury the echinacea because that's lovely looking. So, yeah, let's see. Got my handy dandy daikon radish. Ta-da! Direct sow as soon as soil is workable. 55 days. I don't know if I ever really pay attention to that. I just come and look for shoulders. But I think what I'll do is just a really good row right here. Okay. This. This is what those seeds look like. They're not too tiny. Just pinch them, spread them out. There. And I just kind of cover them back up. I'll come back through and water them in. Daikon radish right there. Okay. We'll put some of that broccoli in here too. When to sow outside. Here's that burgundy broccoli. That's what I'm going to be planting. Sprouting broccoli is like burgundy, moderate to small main head that produce side shoots. Really good for you. Looks beautiful. When to sow outside, 4 to 6 weeks before your average last frost date. Well, I'm like right on time. We'll see how it goes. 68 to 75 days of maturity. So let's see. Maybe I'll just do it in the corner, or maybe just like a little row, just like next to the daikon radish. How tall does it get? I wonder. Have you grown this before? What did you think of it? I have half of mine to plant some nasturtium seeds today, but I think it's still a little bit too early for that. Plant dimensions. Plants are approximately 36 inches tall. That's pretty big. So maybe I'll just do a couple right in here. Maybe I'll do 3, or like 3 spots. Seed depth 1/8 of an inch, so barely sowing it on the top here. Let's do just right in here. Put my tag in the front. Burgundy broccoli, so I don't forget. These are going to probably be really tiny little seeds. Oh yeah, itty bitty. I don't know if you can even see that. Very small. Almost dropped it. That's what I do one right there. Huh. I don't often try this, so let's just see how it goes. There's not many in here. Okay, used them all up, I think. Yep. And it was very light, so I'm just gonna barely like ruffle it over. And water it in really good. Make sure that they have good contact with the soil. Eventually, I think I'm going to put some squash here, but too early to sow that. So maybe I'll do some lettuces. Yeah, that feels good. Lettuce it is. Once again, have forgotten my nailing mat inside, so let's do this. Okay, let's see. So the butter crunch, if I let it head up, small. This one is, I think, smaller than the Marvel of Four Seasons. So I might do this one out in the front and then do some butter crunch just like around here on the edges. So I think. So yeah, let's do that. Oh, I have a little badger flame beet seed, I think, or some kind of seedling. I think it's a beet. Yeah, look at that. I didn't even know. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so I'm gonna plant some lettuce like right here. Just in the straw. Maybe just do like a little boop, boop, boop. And lettuce seed is very, very small. They are tiny. They just need to be like surface sown. It says a 1/4 inch on here, but I don't think so. Yeah, really, really light. And I have a bunch of butter crunch lettuce seeds from the year, so I'm just gonna sow heavily and see what happens. And if you thin it, you can grow it up to like a little head, or you can harvest it earlier for like little baby leaves, salad, whatever, sandwiches. I put it in my hand first, and then pinch and just kind of scatter it around. I'm just gonna lightly ruffle up the soil just a little bit so there's contact, but again, I don't want to really do much here. Some right there. Just kind of patting it in. And then I'll do another one over in the front. Don't want to forget my Marvel of Four Seasons. Do I have any left? No, I don't think I have any. Not lettuce, carrots. I don't think I have any carrot seedlings, but that is, I think that's a beet. So, oh yeah. I'm gonna put some more like right in here. Is that too close to the carrots? I think that's too close to the carrots. I'd rather leave that for flowers. I love putting, maybe I'll put some chamomile in there. I had some there last time too, but I definitely love putting nasturtiums in the corners too. So let me show you. So here's the butter crunch lettuce seed. It's very small, if you can see that. So I'm sowing it thickly. Just sprinkling it in. And then I'm just gonna kind of rough it up with my fingers a little bit so it's like in the soil. And that's it. Now the marvel of 4 seasons. I did beets there, Swiss chard. Maybe I'll put this in a different, maybe I'll put this next to the cabbage. I think next to the cabbage. So I put in those cabbage seeds here. You can see what I'm doing. I put the cabbage seeds here. Maybe I'll just plant some lettuce like right here. Let's make a little patch. Of course, I've got my peas, echinacea, sugar snap peas growing. They're going to grow up over the teepee. So this feels like a good spot, right? Let's do it. See how it goes. Put my tag in. Yeah, that should be good. Pressing it down. Should I do some on the other side too? Let's do it. Let's do it. Maybe a couple more for good measure. Okay. Sure none's sticking to my hand. Chamomile, I'm just gonna chaos. So, I love to just get things in the garden. See what pops up. Maybe I'll put some chamomile right in here. They're itty bitty. And they come in this little tiny, they are tiny. So I'm gonna just where else? Where else should I put chamomile? I love chamomile so much. I had a lot here. I'm hoping it'll just like reseed itself. So maybe I'll just leave it there. Put some in the herb bed. And then I'll put some dill in, water it in, we'll be all set. All right. I think I'll put chamomile. Dill. Chamomile. I think I'll put dill right in the middle. I'm going to put chamomile in the front, right over here. So I'm just going to. I should make a tag so I don't forget. Tiny little surface sowing seeds. I'm going to leave it at that. Very delicate. Let me get the dill from my basket. All right. Some sketchy tags. Let's see here. All right, in there. Chamomile. I'm going to put dill, tetra dill right in there. So in the spring, late flowering, very bushy because I like the fronds. I don't really need the flowers. Oh, it smells so good. I love dill. All right. I'm going to put it right in here. Tetra dill. I'm going to do a big little area. A little big area. Right there. And then I'll do probably basils in the back. Maybe some florals. Press into surface. All right, time to water it in. I think we'll call it a day. All right, let's see here. Did a lot of surface sowing. I'm just going to mist so it doesn't disturb the seeds as much. Mist them in really good. I'm just going to do that. Water in my lettuces. There's the daikon radish and the burgundy broccoli. Here's the lettuces over here. Cabbage in the middle. See how it goes. Give a little extra love to the sugar snap peas. I'm sure it'll rain again soon, so not super big concern there, but definitely for the seeds, they need that water. And then good old mist for that chamomile. Let it soak in nice and slow. And then we'll come over here and do our other butter crunch lettuces. Also give some water, just because there are beets and carrots growing over here. We want to keep them nice and saturated. That mist. Anything else that might be germinating in there that we want, like chamomile reseeding or whatever, doesn't hurt to give it some love. But you definitely want to keep those carrots moist. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I wish you fantastic days in the garden. Like and subscribe. Thanks so much for hanging out. I wish you some joy.